kept you?
We ran into some old friends.
Is the ship all right? Seems okay if we can get to it.
Products in but it all
Nice.
this
and its right to exist as an independent Jewish state is ironclad. We've held up the weapons.
Oh, well, I got this fucking
We've
fan
held
on.
up the one shipment.
It's fucking like one of those vertical fan things. I don't know. I have no idea. They went to Costco to get it.
As an old shipment, the design. We held that
That's
up.
what I'm saying.
As he can barely even talk during the interview with CNN. So, we're going to make sure we get all the weapons for Israel as he speaks in front of the big donors in the Israeli lobby. Then he goes on far-left CNN where the anti-Israel, pro-Palestine protesters are going to be tuning in, and he says, we're not giving Israel any more weapons. It's all political speech. By the way, Israel already got the weapons. They already got the money. The bill's already been signed. It's done. So all of this is political BS.
Spend money versus.
So he goes in front of the donors, says we're always going to support Israel. That's where the Israeli lobby tunes in. And then he goes over to CNN to talk to the radical leftist out in the streets protesting Israel. And he says, don't worry, we're not sending any more weapons to Israel. They've already sent them. But this flip-flopping goes back years. Here he was when he was campaigning for president talking about support of Israel in clip 12.
News this week to the extent that some of the Democrats are saying that if, because of Israel's settlement policy, that they would look at cutting off military aid to Israel as a result of that.
That'd be a tragic mistake. I strongly oppose Israel's settlement policy on the West Bank. I've made that clear to Bibi when I was vice president. I made it crystal clear to the Israelis. But the idea that we would cut off military aid to an ally, our only true ally in the entire region, is absolutely preposterous. It's just beyond my comprehension. Anyone would do that.
It's preposterous. It's beyond his comprehension. And then he goes on CNN and says that's exactly what he's doing now. Now, Biden lies, whichever way he's telling it, he's lying. Because it's not even up to him. But this is why a policy like that is so dangerous. And this is why anybody spreading this rhetoric like, oh, support Israel at all costs is dangerous. Well, how can you have such a commitment and say, well, then there's no strings attached? So Israel could kill 1 million people in the Gaza Strip and you'd still supply it. You'd still give them all the bombs and all the funding you'd want. Would you commit to that? Because that's what you're saying. But, of course, this is just Biden playing both sides. He's trying to please the Israeli lobby in D.C., not lose those donors, but then he has to please the far-left radicals that hate Israel and hate Jews.
It's completely free.
And he has to say, oh, yeah, but
It's free.
you know, I'm against what they're doing in the Gaza Strip, and I'm against the settlements. It's all political BS. It's all flip-flopping. That's all these liars do. All right. Hopefully I can do this in one segment, but there's so much of this, it's insane. And it's just true. And this is what's frustrating people. And it's not helping your cause. It's kind of like that anti-Semitism bill. If your goal is to stop anti-Semitism or stop the conspiracy theories that Jews run everything, well, then when you have these bills and then when you have these press conferences and you see this full court press and commitment to protecting Israel or protecting Jews, a commitment that Americans have never seen for themselves, never seen for their own border, never seen for their own economy, never seen for anything of our own interests, it doesn't really help. And any honest, neutral observer can see that that's the case. You don't have to be an anti-Semite to report the truth. But then you do this, and more people wonder, well, why is it like this? Well, follow the money, A. Follow the money. Here's Thomas Massey reporting, the day after I voted against Speaker Johnson, AIPAC announces a $300,000 ad buy against me. I hope Americans see what's happening here. AIPAC Super PAC set to run TV ads blasting Thomas Massey's Israel record, and now they're going to try to get him out of office. So again, oh, there's no powerful Jewish lobby that tries to control your Congress. But then when a member of Congress doesn't vote how the powerful Jewish lobby wants it to, they try to expel him from Congress, and they fund the campaigns against him. But see, oh, no, it doesn't exist, and you're not allowed to cover that. You're not allowed to say anything about that. So again, it's like, what do you expect to happen here? Oh, no, Jews don't do anything. They don't have any influence over your Congress. But look how much money we spend on your Congress. And the congressmen that don't vote the way we want, we spend a lot of money to oust them. It gets even worse. Republican senators threaten International Criminal Court on Israel. You have been warned. And this statement reads like a threat from a gangster mafia. A group of Republican senators have threatened the International Criminal Court's chief prosecutor, Karim Khan, and his family against issuing arrest warrants for any Israeli officials, including Prime Minister Netanyahu. And
Who's they? It's gonna be the. Oh yeah, who's Sebastian Stan gonna play? That guy's playing Trump. Nice. That's amazing, dude.
I mean, some of the quotes here are unbelievable. Target Israel and we will target you. That's a threat. We will bar you and your families from the United States. You have been warned. Okay? And so they write this threatening letter that reads like a gangster mafia threat. I guess they're going to send a decapitated horse head to Mr. Khan and his family next. So I could sit here and we could play this game, and we're going to do this with some follow-up. How much money has Tom Cotton, Mitch McConnell, Marsha Blackburn, Katie Britt, Ted Budd, Kevin Cramer, Ted Cruz, Bill Hagerty, Pete Ricketts, Marco Rubio, Rick Scott, Tim Scott, how much have they received from AIPAC? I guarantee you it's probably more than $1 million combined. Where do you have strong language like this protecting the American people? Where do you have strong language like this protecting our border, our sovereignty? Americans from the being politically persecuted by the Biden administration. They don't have a joint press conference. Wide open southern border, millions pouring in. They don't have a joint press conference. But, oh, poor Israel, who's running over the Gaza Strip right now, killing tens of thousands of people, and they might not get another $20 billion. And now the whole Republican Party up there, bought and paid for by the Israel lobby, has a joint press conference. So we continue. And we follow the money.
Are they even allowed to do that?
Let's go to...
Make a movie where they depict him raping a chick or whatever.
Senator Collins now complaining that, oh my gosh, Israel might not have the weapons it needs to do what? Murder 1 million Palestinians? Clip 14.
If you pause if you halt the delivery of weapons systems that Israel needs to defend itself.
$1,000 from AIPAC. Is that what we have here, guys? Pro-Israel lobbying. Senator Collins sold you out for $646,000. So we're just following the money, showing the receipts. That's all. You want to put Israel above America, then we're going to go ahead and expose you. It's that simple. Really that simple. You want to come out and put on this display in a joint press conference when you've never done anything like that for the American people, when you've never done anything like that for the issues that we face in this country, then yeah, we're going to expose you. We're going to show that you're bought and paid for. And you need to deal with this. And this needs to be the regular thing. Let's go to Senator Risch. Here's Senator Risch saying Joe Biden is giving the terrorists a victory. Clip 18.
The president has done is handed a great victory to Hamas here. It's going to invigorate the fighting that they're doing in Gaza, and it's going to stop the negotiations that have been ongoing. This was a horrible mistake. Thank you.
Yeah, who's picking Hamas in the war against Israel? Who has Hamas beating Israel in the war? I mean, that's a joke. I'm going to take, Mahas. What's the name of the team that the Manhattan Metropolitans versus the Harlem Globetrotters? I think the Metropolitans are going to win, and if we don't give new jerseys to the Harlem Globetrotters, they might lose to the Metropolitans tonight. Pull it up. How much has Senator Risch made from AIPAC? So again, it's beyond just they're going to have this press conference. It's everything they're saying is disingenuous. Republican Senator from Iowa, $255,000 from the pro-Israel lobby. All right, let's go on. Senator Joni Ernst. Senator Joni Ernst, again, being disingenuous about the truth here. Clip 16.
Knew exactly what would happen when they attacked on October 7th. They knew that Israel would respond and that they would strive for victory and the destruction of Hamas. They knew that. This is not Israel's fault. This is Hamas's fault. This is Sinwar's fault. This is Iran's fault. It is not Israel's fault.
Disgusting.
So we don't need Joe Biden being a mouthpiece for Hamas. We certainly don't need it in our White House. We need new leadership.
Senator Cruz.
So Israel stands down on October 7th, and then Israel takes the Gaza Strip and kills tens of thousands of people, and that's all Hamas's fault. Yeah, I'm sure Hamas did expect a retaliation from Israel. Hamas doesn't care. Hamas hates Jews. Hamas hates Israel. And they were probably, the leadership was probably even given the green light. They were probably even told there would be a stand down when they went to that music festival and killed 1,200 people. They probably knew they'd have a free reign. The whole thing was probably orchestrated. They didn't care.
Accessibility setup. Here are some common settings you off.
No, Israel did have a choice. They didn't have to
right
kill 40,000 Palestinians. They had a choice. See, that's what I'm saying.
Scroll
you
to the top to select the menu narration option.
All right, how much, Joni Ernst? Let's go to the big board. Over 500,000 from the pro-Israel lobby, from Joni Ernst. Follow the money. Let's go to Senator John Thune. Again, it's the people of Israel are more important than the people of America.
So I
Senator
think I
John
could play
Thune,
with
clip
it. I could play
15.
with you, right?
And they also believe that Israel needs to do what is necessary. And that includes going into Rafah to root out the Hamas threat. Then that is necessary for their very survival. This is an existential threat for the people of Israel. The United States needs to have their back. We'd have their back. The American people have their back. The Republicans here in the United States Senate have their back. And we will do everything we possibly can to make sure that Joe Biden, notwithstanding his statements of the last few days here, does what the American people and the United States Congress have said we need to be doing to support our strongest ally in the world.
Strongest ally. Yeah, they bought you. They definitely bought your ass. Oh, for over $1 million, or what do we have here? He's made at least $100,000 from AIPAC. Senator John Thune. I could go on. Maybe we'll continue this with a couple other clips on the other side. No, you know what the existential threat to the people of Israel are? It's Netanyahu. It's Netanyahu's agenda to take the entire Gaza Strip. But see, again, it's all disingenuous. The deals have obviously been made. The deals have obviously been cut. Everybody's bought and paid for. Your Congress, your media, everybody. Israel's taking the Gaza Strip. They're going to settle the land. It's going to be theirs. Most of the Palestinians are going to be forced into South Rafah or moved into Europe or the United States. The deal is done. It's over. And here you have your bought and paid for members of Congress telling you, you need to send more money to Israel because they're more important than you. All right, I'm going to go to one more clip here, but understand, we showed you the threat made to the ICC, like a bunch of bought and paid for gangsters out of the Republican Party. We're showing you clips from this press conference. It was huge. Dozens of...
Rolling on the target.
Sign me up.
Let's get it.
Domination comes naturally to us Phantoms. Three, two, one. Get out there and capture those zones, Shadow Team.
Reloading!
We're assaulting Zone C. We're moving on Zone B. We got the zone. Zone C in trouble. Enemies on B. Light them up.
Cover me! Deploying frag!
Yeah, it is.
Hostiles hold all the zones. Strike hard. Team capturing Zone A.
Grenades away!
Tango down.
Frag out!
Zone A under enemy assault. Capture zone contested.
Swapping mags! Cover me!
We're moving on Zone B. We got the zone. Enemies on B. Light them up. Capture zone contested. Capture zone contested. Enemies on B. Light them up.
Apparently there's an error with the controller. Are you there? Like, I don't know, yeah, some people are saying they're experiencing an error when they try to use their controller, but it might not happen for you.
Hostiles taking B. Zone compromised. Team going after C. Securing B. Hostiles are demoralized. Feels good. Secure all the capture zones and keep them that way. Zone secured. Zone B's compromised. Zone contested. We're on Zone C. We're going for B. We got the zone. Zone B under assault. Zone compromised.
The M60's in this game.
Swapping max, cover me.
Troops are ready for deployment. Team securing B.
Shield up!
Heads coming up. And think
Disengage!
friendly's moving on C. Zone compromised.
Change your legs.
Enemy has boots on A. Oh. Teams moving on B. Zone secured. Enemy on A. We're taking A. Enemy on B. We're targeting C. So,
Who's a medic?
you got it done.
Republicans, all of them sounding the exact same. And we're just following the money, just showing you why they're doing this, why they care more about the interest of Israel than their own country's interest, the interest of the United States of America. But I want to explain something quickly before we go to this final clip about responses I get when I cover this stuff. So, years ago, I'd have guests on the show, or I'd go on other shows, or people would call in, or they'll accuse Alex of it. Like, you're Israeli shills. You never cover the Israel issue. You don't. You're bought and paid for too. Totally inaccurate. And it's not like I do this coverage to disprove that. And now I get messages today, and they'll say, "Oh, you know, what's wrong with you? You've turned a new leaf, and now you're anti-Israel." Or, "Oh my gosh, finally you see it. Finally you know what's going on." Let me explain something. I call it as I see it. That's what I do. This is your daily play-by-play of American politics, period. So, like a broadcaster doing play-by-play for a hockey game, and he calls what he sees on the field. That's what I do here. So yeah, this has become a big issue since October 7th. And when I've got all these problems going on in my nation, but I get more fervor and passion from Republicans about Israel, then I'm going to call it as I see it. It has nothing to do with anti-Semitism or Jewish people. It has to do with a bought and paid for Congress that sells you out and determines our foreign policy. But let's just get that on the record. You tune in to InfoWars, you tune in to the War Room, you tune in to Owen Schroyer, we call it as it is, we call it as we see it. So let's go to one more clip here. Here's State Senator Katie Britt, and she's got her crucifix on. You know, Katie, that's That's an anti-Semitic offense now to wear that crucifix, Katie. So maybe...
Domination. This mission plays to our strengths. Three, two, one. Secure all the capture zones. We're assaulting Zone C. We got the zone. Capture zone contested. We're moving on Zone B. That's a kill. Enemies on B. Light them up. Capture zone contested. We got the zone. When you take some knocks, pick yourself up and punch back.
What dog?
Enemies on B. Light them up.
Could use a medic.
Team capturing Zone A. Loadout changed. Enemies on B.
I'm down, but not out. Yet.
Zone contested. Hostiles taking B.
communication banks.
No weapon. Hostiles are demoralized. Feels good. Take all zones and keep them secure. Zone B is compromised. Zone contested. Team securing B. Zone secured. They're setting up a milk run.
Deploying radar.
Enemy echelon is tracking with sonar goggles. That's how Shadow Team does it.
Nice.
Domination. Comes naturally to us Phantoms. Three, two, one. Get out there and capture those zones, Shadow Team. We're assaulting Zone C.
Yeah, sure.
We got the zone. Tango down.
Grenade out!
When you take some knocks, pick yourself up and punch back. Zone C in trouble. We're moving on Zone B.
Could use a medic!
Capture zone contested. We're moving on Zone B. Capturing Zone A. Zone secured. Hostiles on A. Kick them off. We're going for B. Enemies taking C. Zone contested. Situation report. Enemies control all zones. Deal with them. path to C. Team has boots on A. You're behind. Get back on mission.
I am down, but not out. Yes.
Secure all the capture zones and keep them that way. We got the zone. Enemy has boots on A. Zone contested. Mission fast. Can't wait to see how the desk jockeys spin this one.
Let's do this.
Domination. A game of move it or lose it. Three, two, one. Go claim them zones. Keep out the riffraff. Friendly's moving on Zone C. Zone's off. Capture zone contested. Allies capturing Zone B. your training. Apply the fire to the bad guys. Capture zone contested. Hacking new hardware. Allies capturing Zone B. Hacking new hardware.
What'd you say?
Critical.
How did you make it?
We're on A. Crew's moving on B. Zone up for grabs. You ain't doing so good, pal. Time to roll up your stakeholder zones, then keep them. That's the work order. Riff-raff on A. We got it.
I'm in bad shape.
What do you think of the maps so far?
This one's just about done, and then we'll never speak of it again.
Help! I'm dying here.
You blew it, pal.
fuck's wrong with her face?
Girl, you need to stop taking all your problems into the lobby.
Can you please just leave me alone? I don't know why we keep getting paired up in the same lobby.
If you bitches don't stop arguing right now, it's gonna be a problem.
I've had a bad day.
This is ridiculous. What are you talking about, ho?
Let's get it.
Backing you up.
Copy. Joining the attack. Sign me up.
Domination. Rule number 6. There's always another war, another cantina, another capture zone. 3, 2, 1. Take the zones! Topple the enemy! Viva la revolución! Amigos capturing Zone C!
Engaging camo!
We're taking Zone B!
Frag out!
Zone's ours now!
Revealing enemies!
Capture zone contested!
Swapping mags! Shield up! Condition!
They're going after Zone C! Warfare was easy, there'd be a lot fewer goose-stepping fascists in the world. Amigos capturing Zone C! Zone's ours now! Capture zone contested. The enemy is attacking Zone B! Capture zone contested. Drop them. Capture zone is ours now. The enemy is attacking Zone B.
It's like Obi-Wan said.
Reloading!
That'll come in handy.
Gathering intel! Help! I'm in bad shape!
Our side is down, but we're never out. New weapon. Amigos taking B. Zone's ours now. Zone B is in danger. Liberate all zones from enemy occupation. Cuidado, an enemy spy skulking around with their goggles on.
Reloading! Throw it a frag!
That'll come in handy. We're moving on B. This one's almost over, except for the name calling and finger pointing.
Max, cover me!
You're about to lose this one, but at least democracy doesn't hang in the balance. Stakes are low. Oh, maybe we'll do the revolution tomorrow, eh? Domination. You can't liberate the whole world, but the capture zones are a good start. 3, 2, 1. Take the zones. Defend them to the end. We're taking Zone A. Capture zone is ours now. Capture zone contested. They got all the zones. That's not great. We're taking Zone A. Amigos capturing Zone C. Okay, that's enough lives for your cause. Now you take some. Zone's ours now. We're taking Zone B. They're going after Zone C!
Reloading!
The enemy is attacking Zone B! Capture zone contested. Capture zone contested. Zone compromised. We're taking Zone B. We're taking Zone A. Zone's ours now. C is in trouble! Our guerrillas are on A. They're moving on B.
Grenade out!
Zone compromised. Zone A is under attack. Allies on B.
What happened?
time to fight dirty.
Down dogs. No more fucking cool air. How's that make you feel, dog?
Zone's ours now. Zone contested. Liberate all zones from enemy occupation.
YOLO, dog.
Drop them. They're taking B!
Yeah, dude, you gonna fucking drive it over here?
Zone contested.
Yeah, the scooter's fucking broken. The fucking brake doesn't work and the accelerator's faulty, so... Yeah, it's a Chinese company, yeah.
They're taking B!
I'm done.
Zone contested. We're liberating A. Running out of time to turn this around, compay. Capture zone is ours now. We're moving on B. We're losing zone A. Bad guys on zone C. A's going adios. They're on C. Grabbing B. Zone compromised. Losing B. Even that has suffered worse. We won't quit.
There are no kill streaks, huh?
Have fun tomorrow with your workout, dog. I don't think so. I haven't looked at my backyard in like fucking forever. Yeah.
Domination. Rule number 6. There's always another war, another cantina, another capture zone. 3, 2, 1. Take the zones! Topple the enemy! Viva la revolución! Amigos capturing zone C!
Flashbang out! I am down! I'm not out! Shield out! Yes!
What is this, like the Google campus?
Capture zone protected! Capture zone is ours now! We're getting zone A! We're getting zone A! Ah! Enemy dead!
Yeah, no, I want to be banned too, so.
Changing mag!
The enemy is attacking zone B! We're taking zone A! New weapon!
Hopefully, tomorrow I can find this on the PlayStation Store.
We're taking zone B! The enemy holds on the zones! Liberate them!
How many gigs was it?
Amigos capturing zone C! Okay, that's enough
Wait, is
lives
that
for your
Mountain
cause.
Dew
Now
vending
you
machine?
take some. Capture zone is ours now.
Yeah, dude, this is fucking Google Campus. What the hell? That fucking slides in your office, like.
That'll come in handy. They got all the zones. That's not great. Capture zone contested. We're taking zone B. Amigos capturing zone C.
Deploying frag!
Zone's ours now. That was on you.
Cover me!
They're going after Zone C! Zone C's got enemies! The enemy holds on the zones! Liberate them! We're taking C!
Changing mags.
No doubt changed.
Condition critical.
Our side is down, but we're never out! That'll come in handy. Liberate all zones from enemy occupation! Not to be party pooper, but this one's about to end in the toilet. Bad guys on Zone C! Amigos taking B! New weapon! Oh! Maybe we'll do the revolution tomorrow, eh?
Like somebody came on her face. Recon build.
I don't know. Do you know what you're doing there, Katie? Wearing a crucifix? So, final clip from the press conference today. Katie Britt, go ahead.
There are still 4 battalions in Rafah. So understand what
Take
that means
the zones.
for the
Defend them
innocent
to
people
the end.
of Israel.
Zone's ours now. We're taking Zone B. changed. Amigos capturing Zone C.
Changing mags.
The enemy is attacking Zone B. Zone's ours now. Capture zone contested. Capture zone contested. They're taking zone B. Zone's ours now.
Yeah, critical.
The enemy is attacking zone B. Capture zone contested. That'll come in handy. Zone contested. They're moving on B.
Damn, dude.
We're moving on B. Capture zone is ours now. New weapon.
Grenades away!
Two mags. I'm down, but not out.
Danger! Critical!
That'll come in handy. Enemy spy activated sonar goggles. Wish we had that back when I was KGB. They're taking B! Keep up the fight!
Sonar goggles? Yeah, dude, just camping that vent.
Odds are you're gonna win this. Good thing I already placed my bet. Cuidado, an enemy spy is skulking around with their goggles on. They're moving on B!
Activating Egypt!
You did what we came here to do.
The fuck?
What is such a fraud?
We must do more. Never again is now. And I urge the President of the United States to not be the very first president to not stand with Israel. They are our greatest ally, and they deserve us to stand shoulder to shoulder with them as they fight the evil that is Hamas.
Go ahead, fight shoulder to shoulder. See you there. $102,000, Senator from Alabama, Katie Britt from AIPAC, with her crucifix, which is now illegal, the anti-Semitism bill. I mean, it's insane. You go fight shoulder to shoulder with Israel. Never again, she says. What about our border being invaded? How about, did you hear about that little girl in Chicago that got raped for months? Did you hear about that? Chicago man charged with kidnapping girl, drugging and raping her for 5 months. How about that? Never again. Well, what can they do about that? Well, this guy was a known criminal with dozens of priors, and the Chicago Democrats put him back on the streets. And the Soros district attorneys and judges put him back on the streets. How about never again? How about the illegal immigrants, criminal trespassers into our country that rape and kill American citizens? How about never again for that? How about a joint press conference for that? Do I have to pay you $200,000 to get you to care about America? How about stolen elections? How about censorship of the United States citizens? How about political persecution against the top Republican candidate, against people across the United States for supporting him? How about never again for that? How much money do you have to pay Republican senators, Republican representatives? How much money do you have to pay them for them to show you loyalty? Hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. Problem is, you've been
domination. You can't liberate the whole world, but the capture zones are a good start. 3, 2, 1. Take the zones! Topple the enemy! Viva la revolución! We're taking Zone A. Zone's ours now. We're taking Zone B. Amigos capturing Zone C. Capture zone contested. Ah! Enemy dead! The enemy is attacking Zone B.
Frag out! First aid!
New weapon. The enemy is attacking Zone B. Capture zone contested.
Scanning for hostiles!
Okay, that's enough lives for your cause. Now you take some.
Changing mags.
Get out! Tossing EMP!
Zone compromised. The enemy is attacking Zone B.
Help! I'm in bad shape!
Frag out!
That'll come in handy. They're taking B!
EMP grenade activated!
Changing mags.
Zone contested. Zone contested. Don't think you can lose at this point. I've already started celebrating. New weapon.
Swapping max.
Zone B is in danger. You won. You're welcome.
Outbid by APAC and everyone else. We are getting crushed in the housing market. We are.
An example, look, I get frat boys taking on these little commie protesters on college campuses. We raised $400,000 on the right for them.
Oh, it's
so
over 500,000 now.
Yeah, exactly.
It even says so they can quote unquote have a rager.
Audible
my guess is their families aren't short on money.
Precisely. By contrast, the support for your case on the Supreme Court hasn't raised as much money as it could and as it needs to.
He's obviously cracked for an AR, which is impressive because most ARs are rather slow.
The straightest shooter. But I think Dashy, the straightest shooter.
Dashy with the pistol.
He was runner-up for MVP.
I think of, main AR, I think turret, and I just think one of the best players in the league is raw gun skill.
He does it at like a different way, but his action.
And there's a fundraiser for them. There's even a fundraiser where you can buy a hat if you want to. That these cases are out there on the right that I and other people have helped establish that we can Trump. That's all this was. It was Trump's right. But anybody follow
cases that are just insane with lawyer Bob Barnes from the 1776 Law Center on the other side. All right, we're about to get into some of the crazy details of these Trump cases with attorney Bob Barnes here, 1776lawcenter.com. But first, folks, this is hilarious. You can't even make this up. Who think tanked this? The new COVID-19 variant just dropped. It's literally called Flirt.
Rule number 6.
I'm not even kidding you. They're calling it Flirt. New COVID-19 variant Flirt could mean a summer surge. It's another surge. The Flirt symptoms. So they try all these different things. Omicron and H1.09er. I mean, now it's Flirt. What are they going to drop next? The Spider-Man variant? So it's just total insanity. But I want to get into the Trump cases now. Let's start in New York because here's the question. And it's amazing how the biggest detail of the Trump New York case is almost completely forgotten. And that's, what is the actual criminal charge? Right? I mean, they want you to think about Stormy Daniels or hush money is what they... But what they're essentially claiming amounts to a bookkeeping error of which the statute of limitations has run out on and of which Trump would have nothing to do with. So try to make sense of all of this from just a sheer legalese perspective.
Yeah, I mean, what they did is they tried to bootstrap basically what's an accounting fraud statute, and tried to bootstrap that to a federal crime of an unidentified source. It's been extraordinary. The law is that you're supposed to be put on notice or something called a bill of particulars you're allowed to make to demand you know what crime you're being charged with. And here, that they've never identified what the the underlying federal crime is, because they're trying to say there's a federal crime that the accounting fraud was done to cover up and commit a federal crime that thus takes this misdemeanor up to a felony. And they won't identify what the federal crime is. Apparently they're going to play a game. Maybe they'll call it tax evasion somehow, or maybe they'll call it a campaign finance fraud.
Well, the Federal Election Commission already passed on this. They said, no, we don't see any crime here.
Well, of course not. I mean, the problem is, how can you commit campaign fraud in November of 2016 by something you did in January or February or March of 2017? You know, that's not possible. And that's the problem. It's also, it is very normal to treat money paid to a lawyer as a legal expense, even if that lawyer then uses that money to pay off some other item, whether it's a non-disclosure agreement or a investigator or paralegal or some other third-party cost. That happens every day in America. In fact, if he didn't call it a legal expense, they could have called that fraud. So it makes no sense. The entire case is bogus. It's purely politically motivated. It's legally insufficient. It's constitutionally deficient. It violates the core principle of immunity for the executive branch, of the elected president, to be subject to these extortionate threats from local partisan prosecutors. The issue is currently pending before the Supreme Court. And what we've seen from the trial is a mockery of a case. I mean,